Hello everybody, Mr. Pilgrim here coming at you with the 8th video in our Platinum Trophy Guide for Elden Ring. We had just finished Lindell Capital and have made it to the Forbidden Lands. And then once, as always, I'm going to be showing you the path from here to the next couple of graces, as there's nothing major in between until we get to the very end, and this will lead us to the next couple of areas. So I'm going to see you when that is all said and done. Alright, now as you guys can see, we have made it all the way up to this very specific spot here in the Mountaintops of Giants. Now the first thing that you're going to want to do is head down here and end up at this little castle area, and that'll be the first main thing that you have to do here is doing that, apart from having the other half of the secret medallion which you got in the village of the Albinaurics in episode 1 will help us get to this secondary area here. But the first main thing that we're going to do is unlock the southern part of this map. So to do that from here, we're actually going to go a very specific path, and along doing so, you should get your last legendary incantation, getting you the trophy. So from here, if you just follow the path that I take, we'll see you then. Alright, and with that, you should have gotten your last legendary incantation. But now, basically, what we're going to do is we're just going to be heading southbound and follow the path that way to the other side of that fort over there, and going to be heading across a giant chain. I'll mark where the map fragment is on myself, that way it just makes it easier since I can see it. But yeah, so I'm going to see you once we've made it to the other side of where that fort is, as because going across the chain leads you directly to where the map fragment is. So I'll see you when that is all said and done. Alright, now as you can see, we've made it to the Giant's Grave Post, and from here we're going to be going up to this specific church area. For one, it's going to be the closest grave site to the boss, I believe, that is convenient enough. And two, there's also going to be an NPC invader who will invade right here, who gives you a really cool bleed katana that's pretty nice. And so yeah, so I'm just going to see you once we've gotten that. And then from there, what we're actually going to do is head back up, do the last Volcano Manor quest, then head back to Volcano Manor, and then go from there and fight the boss there and finish up Volcano Manor. So yeah, can see you once we got to here, and then I'll see you once we're then at Volcano Manor. Alright, now as you can see, upon defeating the invader, you get the Rivers of Blood and Okina mask. You might notice him as he's one of the people you can summon to help you fight and defeat Radahn. So like I said, from here we're actually going to go and finish up Volcano Manor, so I'm going to head back here, head down the river and do this. Then I will see you guys once we are all the way back here in Volcano Manor. So yeah, gonna finish up that loose end while we are able to. Alright, now as you can see, we're here at the Volcano Manor, and finally we can finish this up. And she will ask if you want to see the Lord, and he will immediately be teleported.
Farewell then.
You'll immediately have a grace in front of you as a safety point, which is pretty nice. So from here, what you're going to do for this fight, it's pretty simple. You can basically, before you do anything, grab the weapon, as you have to use this, just to make the fight easier. You'll want to make sure you equip the weapon, wherever it may be. You do not need to have any stat requirements to use the weapon. Then from there, finally summon your mimic and get ready to do the fight. It's that simple. You can basically just two-hand the weapon, and then that'll allow you to make it easier. But as you can see, your mimic and you can both attack using the specific special weapon. Do be careful though, as the boss does hit pretty hard. You can stand in the lava, I guess, if you wanted to. But this is better. And just like that, phase 1 is done. Like always with anything in this game, there's always going to be a phase 2. Closer than I was. Charged R2 is probably going to be the best method for damage. To make this go 1,000 times easier, as you can see, even with it being unupgraded, it still does really well. And boom, just like that, you defeated Rykard. Pretty easy boss fight, as I could say. Now go back to our +9 Ice Rind Hatchet. If you're wondering where to get a +8 and +9 Somber Smithing Stone, you can actually head to the Lake of Rot and explore that area a bit, and you can find one, I believe, Somber Smithing Stone 8 to your right. The next one requires you to do the pillar, and then the last one will be right here, and then it will raise you up with it, and it'll be on a corpse on top of the structure that you can be on top of. Alright, so from here, we're going to head back to the Mountaintops of Giants. Going to go from the Snow Valley ruins down and around to get to Castle Sol. So I'm going to see you once we are officially here. Alright, now as you guys can see in here, I'm here at the castle. Now the main thing you're just going to be trying to do is get a shortcut and grab the next legendary armament that we can get here. So you're just going to be running past everything. Once you get to this area, you'll just want to take the left into this room, give it a good old stomp, climb up, and there's a very specific way you can cheese getting to the next area from right here. So if you actually do a very precise angled jump, you can jump to this bridge right here, barely making it, head back north into this room, and then follow the path around, and this will lead you right to the next Grace, which is right next to the legendary armament. You'll just have to run past all of these Vanishing Knights, who can do a lot of damage. But in here you'll find the Grace. I'm not sure if they'll let me sit at it. Some annoying enemies for sure, especially that bird. But from here, you're then just going to make a left inside, and on this corpse you can find the Eclipse Shuttle. Then from here, you're just going to be running through the area again. This time we're going to be activating a shortcut to make it a little bit easier to get back and forth to the boss without having to risk these teleporting Vanishing Knights coming at you. So all you're gonna do, as annoying as it is you'll have to activate— oh god! I just had a nightmare. So you'll activate the lift, and then you'll have to get onto it and activate it to send it back down. This will cause it to actually work now. So instead of heading inside from where we did past the dogs to the left, you know, the route we took, instead you'll just have to run straight right up to this. Hopefully the enemies are gone and I can have an easy life when I head back up. The main reason why I recommend doing this instead of the normal way that we just took is that these vanishing enemies will sometimes come into the boss room with you, and it is not fun. But in here we will find Commander Neil. Okay. I guess that works. Alright, let's try this again. Now as you'll enter, you can fight Commander Neil. He'll summon 2 of those big knight enemies at the start. They'll basically come running at you, so you don't have to worry about fighting him immediately, as he'll give you time to do this. Do be careful, as they are very tough. helping out our mimic friend is definitely going to be the best option here, as we need him more for the actual boss than anything else. So now that that is said and done, we can now focus the main boy. You'd figure for a guy who uses ice, he would be a little bit more impervious to it, but I guess not. But as you can see, this is always Hoarfrost Stomp saves all. Almost! Yeah. And once you do that, that'll get you a trophy itself for defeating him. And then from here, we can actually grab the next secret half of the medallion by heading all the way up top. It is the only thing of major importance in this area. As you can see right here, Haligtree Secret Medallion left. Now from here we're actually going to head all the way back down to the church area and then follow this path to the chain link right here. So I'll meet you right here, guys. Alright, now once you have made it here, you'll want to, as always, get ready for our next fight. As you can see, we're going to be fighting that big boy. Trust me, he hurts. So, get ready. But as you can see, Hoarfrost Stomp still take cake. Whenever he does this fire, he can create a fire orb like so. The best thing you want to do is just activate it, run away. Basically just going to mainly be attacking this same angle for the longest time, until you get to phase 2. As you'll see, once this happens, there'll be a cutscene, and things will be different. As you'll see, like so. They'll now be using more fire-based attacks. But as you can see, having the Hoarfrost Stomp just obliterates. He also likes to roll around still, so do be careful of that. And we've almost got him defeated. And just like that, we've also defeated the fire giant. Now from here, once that is all said and done, of course, we're going to be heading up to that giant little forge up there. So as you'll go up, you'll basically just want to go around to the left side, and I'll see you up there with a small warning of note. So yeah. Alright, so when you make it up here, activate the grace, but do not sit at it and talk to Melina. as this will actually cause Lindell to be changed forever. So if you're not wanting to do that, don't do that just yet. Instead, we're actually going to be going back to the Grand Lift of Rold and heading to the secondary area by finally using both halves of the secret medallion that we have obtained. So if you're not wanting to ruin Lindell just yet, just hold off and continue with the guide that we're going through. Alright, so when you make it to this Grand Lift of Rold again, when you come up, it'll actually give you a prompt to hoist the secret medallion, and that's what you want to do. And then from here, you're going to have a small little, like, catacomb area to run through. If you don't want to, you don't have to, of course. But all you're mainly going to be doing is just running up here to the left. There's a secret area you can drop down to just to my left, but that's... you really don't have to. But you will find this grace. And then as you'll see, the map becomes a giant snowstorm. And it is pretty bad. Pretty bad. But like always, you can mark things. But for now, I'm just going to get the map revealed and then show you where you have to go from here and all that good stuff. So I'll see you when that is said and done. Alright, now as you guys can see, we've got the map, and there's going to be 3 things in this new area that you have to do. The first major one is going to be located in this town. I'll go over that once we are there. The second is going to be a cave right here. And the third one is going to be a portal over here to a new area that we have yet to get to. And this is going to be actually the farming area of where to get runes and stuff like that that everybody likes to use. So we're going to tackle the portal second, and we're going to do the cave first. The cave is right around here. I do believe you need a stone sword key to get inside, but once you're inside, it's pretty easy. You'll have to run into the big open area, so if you keep just going straight, you'll be fine. And then you'll have to go off to the left and jump up some of the terrain into a hidden hole that'll lead you down to fight the boss. The boss there will give you the last legendary armament that you need, which I will now be showing you just after this little transition. Alright, and as you can see, once you defeat him, you'll get the Golden Order Greatsword. This will be the last legendary armament that you have to get, and that'll get you the trophy. So from here, we're now going to be going and finding that secret portal, like I said, and then we're eventually going to take down that town as it has a very specific puzzle. Alright, now as you can see here on the map, there will be this red portal or blood-stained portal that you can go through, and this will lead you to another secret area, one of like 2 or 3 in the game. Now, when you load in, you'll immediately just head south, and then eventually you'll come out this tunnel and be at Mohgwyn's Palace. You'll see that grace directly in front of us. So if you follow this path that I take, it'll lead right to it. And for anybody who is unfamiliar with where to farm runes or anything like that, it is going to be right here from this grace, which I'll quickly demonstrate right now. Do note that this is based on build alone, so it can be a good or bad run. But as you can see, each enemy here gives roughly 2,500 runes or so. And as you can see, with the build that we have going for us, it is going quite well, all things considered. And then if there's any left by the end of it, you can easily just mop them up. And yeah, just like that, pretty easy. 2,500 runes per single kill, roughly gets you 50,000 per run, 55,000, something like that. So it's not a bad run. But now we're going to head back to the Consecrated Snowfield and finish up this little town area right here. Alright, but as you can see, we're now here in Ordina, the liturgical town. This is a very unique place, as you'll find that there are no hostile enemies here normally. So what you have to do is just follow the path that I take. And that is our main goal up there, but in order to get up there, we have to first enter this Evergal. You have to first read, and then it'll let you. So from here, now what you have to do is you have to light 4 very specific braziers, or torches, whatever you want to call them. The first and easiest one you can find is if you jump down and just come up here. You can climb up this ladder. There's one right there just to my left in the center area. Might as well save the easier ones for last. The hardest one is probably the one to my left right there, as there's a bunch of archers who will shoot at you and make it very hard and very annoying to get it here. But as you'll see, you'll light the flame, and boom, just like that, it's done. From here, you have to drop down, run a very specific path, because these guys are dangerous. Make it to this first one and you should be good. That one is the only one who will really be in your way. The other one will kind of just, you can ignore them. There are also invisible black knives that you can find here, who are pretty scary, as they will just sneak up and critically hit you by stabbing you in the gut. Once you get that one, come on, let me jump down. The last one is found over there. So you can just drop down and run over to it. Do be careful, like I said, there are those assassins. As you'll see in here, one was just jumping down behind me, taking shots at me. But from here, the actual last one, I don't know why I said this is the last one, but from here, the actual last one is in the center on the ground. So the best way to get to there from here is just to follow the rooftops. This will attract less aggro. You can then just jump back down and run right through the street. Because once you activate this last one, the enemies go away. Thank God. But as you'll see, and then it'll also immediately like pull you out of it. As you'll see, like that. Here, you can run up and interact with the portal at the top. and this will take you to a hidden area in the game. But once you spawn in, you can find that there is this grace right here that we can grab. And then the last thing that we're going to actually do is head to the Forge of Giants and finally do that. Now that you're here, you can finally rested this grace and talk to Melina.
I have long of this world and death. Are you to commit?
She'll ask if you want to commit the sin, and you'll say
Very
you're
well,
ready.
let my hand.
Upon doing this, you will then unlock a trophy for setting the tree on fire. There will be a cutscene, which we'll skip. And then you will be teleported to the next area, the Crumbling Farum Azula. As you'll see right here. And then you can just follow the path that I take to get to the first grace of the area. You're going to definitely want to run past most of these enemies, as fighting them in a large group is definitely going to not be fun, as they all hurt. But right in here you'll find the grace. The funny thing about them hurting is we also hurt. But from here, that's going to be where we end the video, as we now have 3 new areas that we'll have to go over. I'll probably do the other 2 first before I do Farum Azula, just because this is more or less the actual final area you're supposed to go through before you are at the very end game. And like I said before, if you don't want to ruin Lindell, do not come here immediately, as Lindell will be changed, and make sure you have grabbed the bolt of Grandsax from our last video, otherwise it'll now be covered in ash and you can't grab it, and you'll have to get it in New Game Plus. So yeah, I'll see you all in the next video.